Good morning and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Well, Udta Punjab movie is all set to release today, clearing all hurdles as Supreme Court has dismissed plea against the movie. That is the big story this morning. Also in the good sports story, well, Indian men's hockey team has created a history. It has entered first ever Champions Trophy final. They will now face Australia in the summit clash. We'll get you all the details on that. Let us, however, take a look at the other headlines as well. Special SIT court to pronounce quantum of sentence in Gulbarg society massacre today. Prosecution has sought death sentence or jail term till death for all the 24 convicts. Government imposes 20% duty on sugar exports to boost domestic supply. Move expected to check rising prices. Namibia assures it will look into legal ways to supply uranium to India for peaceful nuclear use. President Pranab Mukherjee promises assistance to improve the African nation's socio-economic objectives. And the Brexit campaign comes to a sudden halt amid outpouring of grief for British MP Jo Cox. Cox was shot and stabbed to death just a week before European Union referendum. A special SIT court will pronounce the quantum of sentence for all the 24 convicts in the Gulbarg society massacre case today. Now, 69 people, including a former Congress MP Ehsan Jaffrey, were killed in the tragic incidents that took place in 2002. Now, a special judge, P.B. Desai, completed hearing the submissions made by the prosecution, defense lawyers, as well as the lawyers of the victims on Monday. And on 2nd of June, the court convicted 11 people for murder and other offences, while 13 others, including VHP leader Atul Bedye, were charged with lesser offences. 36 people were acquitted in the case. The public prosecutor and the lawyer for the victims have asked the court for nothing less than death sentence or jail term till death for all the 24 convicts. The Gulbarg Society massacre took place in Ahmedabad on 28th of February 2002 when Narendra Modi was the Gujarat Chief Minister. A mob of 400 people set about attacking the society in the heart of Ahmedabad and killed the residents, including Congress MP Ehsan Jaffrey. Well, President Pranab Mukherjee addressed the joint session of Parliament of Namibia yesterday. Namibia has assured that it will look into legal ways through which its uranium can be supplied to India for peaceful nuclear use. Earlier calling Namibia a beacon of hope and motivation, President Mukherjee said that India will provide any assistance that the country may require to improve its socio-economic objectives. Mukherjee is the first Indian head of state to visit the country since 1995. Now, recalling strong ties between both the nations, Mukherjee said that his visit takes place at a time of excellent bilateral relations between the two nations.
Excellencies, distinguished members of the Parliament, my state visit, the first by a President of India since 1995, takes place at a time of excellent bilateral relations between India and Namibia. India attached great value of a long-standing friendship with Namibia. The India-Namibia relationship has been built on the firm foundation of mutual trust and understanding.
Well, on to some other news. Well, government imposed a 20% custom duty on sugar exports to boost domestic supply and check prices. The move comes at a time when sugar prices are touching 40 rupees a kilo, up from 30 rupees a kilo 6 months ago. The duty is, however, lower than the 25% proposed by the Food Ministry. Now, India is the world's second largest sugar producer after Brazil. So far in 2015-16, this year, it has exported 1.6 million tons of sugar. But further exports are unlikely to take place with this decision now. Industry officials expect that the imposition of duty will make exports unviable. A tight demand-supply situation is expected in the next 2016-17 marketing year that starts from October. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for 10 crore people to be brought into the tax net, up from the current 5.3 crore. Inaugurating the two-day annual conference of tax administrators in the national capital on Thursday, the Prime Minister also outlined a 5-point charter for tax administrators, and he termed it rapid. He asked the tax officials to remove a fear of harassment from the minds of taxpayers and move towards digitization.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has advised income tax administrators to take steps to bridge the trust deficit with taxpayers and strive to widen the taxpayer base. During an hour-long interaction with tax officials, the Prime Minister asserted that Indians are not dishonest and that the tax department should make it further easier for them to comply with the law.
The Honourable Prime Minister suggested that we should raise our sights higher, that we should make it very easy for people to file their taxes, and that we should legitimately aspire to 10 crore taxpayers within our tax base. And this is in the context of having 25 crores or so households in the country out of the 125 crore people that we had.
Prime Minister Modi also advised tax administrators to adopt soft and sober behavior to remove the fear of harassment from the minds of taxpayers. He also laid down 5 pillars for the tax administration to imbibe to deliver efficient administration.
We need to focus R on revenue, A on accountability, P on probity, I on information, and D on digitization.
In the first 10 months of 2015-16, the collection was 5.2 lakh crores in direct taxes. The government, however, had set a direct tax collection target of 7.97 lakh crores in 2015-16, up 26.5% from 6.3 lakh crores in 2014-15. Just 4% of India's voters are taxpayers, and only 15.5% of the net national income is being reported to the tax authorities. And the Prime Minister's pitch to raise the tax net articulates the need of the hour.
GDP ratio stands at 16.6%, which is below many emerging economies. The government has set up a high-level committee under former Delhi High Court Judge R.V. Iswar to suggest simplification of tax laws. Simple tax laws would not only help in cutting down unwanted litigations, but would also improve tax collections. Reporting from Delhi with camera person Anirban, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And the Indian Space Research Organisation, or ISRO, is just one step away from making history. Well, it is all set to launch 20 satellites simultaneously at around 9:25 a.m. on 22nd of June. Now, these include 13 satellites from the US, Germany, Indonesia and Canada. Launch preparations are in the final stages now. Now, 2 satellites have been developed by the students of Satyamba University and Pune University. Now, sharing the information with the Rajya Sabha TV on its special program Eureka, ISRO Chairman Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar informed that while India developed 3 of the 20 satellites, the rest are commercial.
This time, actually, you mentioned 22. While the target was 22, 2 of the satellites from one of the customers, last minute they had to drop out because certain tests which they were doing, they did not succeed in that. So they have to, we will be giving an opportunity in a later launch. So this time it's going to become 20 satellites.
20 satellites at
instead of 22.
I mean,
Even then, we have our own prime satellite, a Cartosat 2 series satellite. Then 2 of our Indian university satellites, Satyabama and Pune University. Then a number of mini satellites, nano satellites and micro satellites. That's what we are doing.
I think this time we are going to launch about 13 satellites of US and Germany, Indonesia,
Canada.
So it's not just one country, but
it's
multiple countries.
See, so far we have done about 21 countries. For different 21 countries, we have launched the satellites. 57 is our last number. With this, it will become 57 plus another 17.
Well, you can watch the entire interview with ISRO Chairman Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar on a special program Eureka at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And let's move on to news from Punjab, where with assembly elections in the state slated for 2017, the Congress seems to have already failed to get a head start. Now, senior leader Kamal Nath's appointment and then resignation as the party's general secretary in charge of the state signals more towards problems within. Though the party maintains that the resignation came out of Kamal Nath's own volition, the opposition has swooped in on the opportunity.
मैं ये राजनीति समझता हूँ, क्योंकि ये ध्यान मोड़ने की राजनीति में सफल ना हो पाए, मैंने ये तय किया कि इससे दूर रहना और अलग रहना ही अच्छा है.
Congress leader Kamal Nath's clarification on why he backed out of being the party general secretary in charge of Punjab. Soon after his appointment, a controversy had erupted over his alleged role in the 1984 anti-Sikh riots.
32 साल से मैं इसमें डैमेज नहीं हुआ. मैं जनरल सेक्रेटरी रहा दिल्ली का. यहाँ सब सिखों ने कांग्रेस को वोट दी. मैं जनरल सेक्रेटरी था. हम जीते एमसीडी इलेक्शन. एलके एडवाणी बोले, सुखबीर बादल बोले, धिनसा जी बोले, बीजेपी के और नेता बोले, किसी ने कोई आरोप मुझ पर नहीं लगाया. और अब और किसी ने उसके पहले आरोप नहीं लगाया, उसके बाद आरोप नहीं लगाया. 4 दिन से ये आरोप शुरू हो गए.
I think his letter which he has written to the Congress president is very, very clear that why it is being done and how deeply anguished and hurt he is, and he wants to be relieved of that responsibility.
However, the opposition swooped right in and says the resignation proves that the Congress had accepted the leader's involvement in the 1984 anti-Sikh riots.
आम आदमी पार्टी ने इसका जबरदस्त विरोध किया है और इसके विरोध के चलते उनको वापस देना पड़ा है, इस्तीफा देना पड़ा है. तो अब न केवल उनका इस्तीफा हुआ है, बल्कि कमलनाथ के मामले की जांच होनी चाहिए और पूरा सच सामने आना चाहिए और उनको इसकी सजा मिलनी चाहिए.
हम ये डिमांड करते हैं कि रेजिग्नेशन देने से इसका मर्डर केस से जो लायबिलिटी है, जो इसका वो ऑब्जॉल्व नहीं हो जाती, तो कत्ल का मुकदमा चलाया जाए. जल्द से जल्द गुरुद्वारा रकाबगंज में अटैक और 2 सिखों को जिंदा जलाने का केस रीओपन किया जाए और कमलनाथ के अगेंस्ट इन्वेस्टिगेशन करके जल्द से जल्द चार्जशीट फेल की जाए.
जिस जख्म को की कांग्रेस पार्टी ने दिया था, उसी कांग्रेस पार्टी ने पंजाब के लोगों के जख्मों पर फिर से एक बार नमक छिड़कने का काम किया है. इसलिए पंजाब की जनता उसे माफ नहीं करेगी.
On Wednesday, Kamal Nath had requested Congress President Sonia Gandhi to relieve him from his duties so that the attention of the party was not diverted from the real issues. The Congress plans to highlight issues of misgovernance, misery of farmers and youth, breakdown of law and order, and rampant drug trade in Punjab. With inputs from Pranav Goswami, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, in some trouble for former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit, now Delhi's Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung has forwarded to the Anti-Corruption Board a fact-finding report on the alleged 400 crore rupees water tanker scam linking former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit. The AAP government sent the report to Jung for probe by either the CBI or the Delhi's anti-corruption branch, following a persistent demand by BJP leader Vijender Gupta. Jung also forwarded a complaint filed by BJP leader accusing Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal of suppressing the committee's report for 11 months. Now, Water Minister Kapil Mishra also wrote to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Jung recommending either a CBI or an ACB probe against Dikshit in connection with the alleged scam. And a day after a delegation of BJP leaders visited Kairana to take stock of the situation there, a delegation of 5 opposition parties were in town on Thursday. Now, both the sides are on a fact-finding mission after reports of mass exodus of Hindu families from there.
A delegation of 5 opposition parties, including the Janata Dal United, CPIM and the NCP, visited Kairana on Thursday. They held discussions with the local to investigate the reasons behind the alleged migration of Hindus from the town.
There are people here who have genuine issues. As Tyagiji has pointed out, they are talking about school, they are talking about health care, they are talking about industry, they are talking about jobs, and they are not finding solution.
लोग जा रहे हैं, एक्सटॉर्शनिस्ट के लिए जा रहे हैं. दिस इज लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन. उसका फिर हिंदू मुसलमान नहीं होता है. तो जो सत्ता में देश में है, वो क्यों इस सवाल को हिंदू मुस्लिम इशू में करना चाहते हैं?
JDU leader KC Tyagi also said that reports by BJP MP Hukum Singh and the administration are contradictory and the matter should be investigated by an all-party delegation.
We leave it to the Prime Minister. We don't believe Hukum Singh. We don't believe district magistrate. That there be a free and fair inquiry headed by any jurist, a member of the parliament consisting all the political parties.
A 9-member BJP team had visited Kairana on Wednesday to review the situation. However, Kairana's BJP MP Hukum Singh did a U-turn of sorts, saying the migrations had more to do with the law and order situation. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's move on in the bulletin now with the Supreme Court and the Punjab and Haryana High Court paving the way for its release. The drug-themed Urta Punjab film hits screens today. The Supreme Court refused to entertain a petition by a Punjab-based NGO, Human Rights Awareness Association, that claimed that the film showed the state in a bad light. Meanwhile, amid allegation that the film was leaked online, co-producer of the film, Anurag Kashyap, and several filmmakers also appealed to the people not to watch it online. Earlier this week, the Bombay High Court cleared the release of Urta Punjab after seeking the deletion of one scene only.
6:30 को पोजीशन में आया, जिसके एडवोकेट ने भी साइन किया हुआ है, बालाजी ने भी साइन किया हुआ है और अपना फैंटम वालों ने भी साइन किया हुआ है। तो 3 लोगों ने सील करवाया और जो 6:30 पे हमने उनको सर्टिफिकेट, आफ्टर वो सीलिंग हमने उनको सर्टिफिकेट दिया। तो अब ये जो है, जहाँ मेरा नॉलेज है, जहाँ मुझे मालूम है, ये फिल्म जो है कल सुबह 1 बजे लोड हो गई थी।
And Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar inaugurated India's indigenous basic trainer aircraft, the Hindustan Turbo Trainer 40 or the HTT-40 in Bangalore today. HTT-40 is a new basic training aircraft developed by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited or the HAL for the Indian Air Force. It will replace the aging fleet of HAL HPT-32. Now, Deepak trainers that are in service with the Indian Air Force. The aircraft will be primarily used for basic flight training, aerobatics, instrument flying and close formation flights, whereas its secondary roles will include navigation and night flying. The HTT-40 project was conceptualized by HAL to fulfill the Indian Air Force's requirement of 18 trainer aircrafts. Now, Indian Air Force is expected to procure 70 HTT-40 aircrafts. Well, we'll slip into a very short break here. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
Saina Nehwal, the first Indian to win a medal in badminton at the Olympics. The world number 2 ranked player is also the first Indian to win the World Junior Badminton Championships and the first Indian to win a Super Series tournament. Saina Nehwal in fact completed a hat-trick Super Series titles in 2010. That same year, she became the first Indian singles player to reach the final of the year-ending Super Series finals, defeating 2-time All-England champion and former world number 1 Tine Bound in the semis.
Welcome back. Now, Thai Prime Minister Prayuth Chanchai was accorded a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan today in presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other dignitaries. Prayuth Chanchai is in New Delhi on a 3-day visit to deepen bilateral cooperation in trade and investment, defence, security and tourism. He is expected to hold a bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi, during which both the sides are likely to explore ways to expand maritime security cooperation, deal with the threat of terrorism and also boost trade. Prayuth Chanchai is accompanied by a high-level delegation of a Deputy Prime Minister, 5 senior ministers and a 46-member business delegation as well. He is also expected to deliver a speech at the business event hosted by FICCI, CII and ASSOCHAM today. The India-Thailand Joint Business Forum will hold its first meeting and make recommendations for boosting trade ties between the two nations. Now, acknowledging that India is inching closer to entering the NSG or the Nuclear Suppliers Group, China has warned that India's inclusion in the grouping will shake the strategic balance in South Asia. Chinese media also said that India's entry into the 48-member elite grouping would cast a shadow over peace and stability in the entire Asia-Pacific region. Now, an article in the Global Times also said that China could support India's inclusion in the nuclear club only if it played by the rules. The Daily said, and I quote, if it joins the group, New Delhi will be able to import civilian nuclear technology and fuels from the international market more conveniently while saving its domestic nuclear material for military use. The major goal for India's energy ambition is to obtain an edge over Islamabad in nuclear capabilities. Once New Delhi gets the membership first, the nuclear balance between India and Pakistan will be broken, quote unquote. Now, a commentary in the same daily on 14th of June had said that India's admission into NSG would jeopardize China's national interest and touch a raw nerve in Pakistan. It also said that the reason for India's garnering support for its NSG membership is because Washington has started to treat New Delhi as part of the US alliance. News coming in from Egypt, where search teams retrieved the cockpit voice recorder from the Egypt Air Flight MS-804 in a major breakthrough. Well, the Egyptian committee said that the black box was damaged, but the search teams managed to safely pull out the memory unit. The recorder was retrieved in several stages and is being transferred from the vessel to the Egyptian port city of Alexandria. Once on shore, it will be handed over to the members of the committee who will analyze the data. Well, the development raises hopes for bringing the plane down, and the cause of the crash still remains unclear. News from Britain, where a MP was shot and stabbed to referendum campaign just a week before the vote. While no motive has been provided for the killing so far, media reports say that the assailant shouted "Britain first" during the attack, a slogan linked to anti-immigrant groups.
Vigils in Birstall and in Parliament Square in London to pay tribute to Labour MP Jo Cox, who was shot and stabbed. Jo Cox had just finished a regular public meeting with her constituents when she was attacked. A man was detained for the assault, but the circumstances and motive were not immediately clear. Tributes flooded in from politicians including David Cameron, Jeremy Corbyn, US Secretary of State John Kerry, French President François Hollande and IMF Chief Christine Lagarde.
This is absolutely tragic and dreadful news, and my thoughts are with Jo's husband Brendan and the two children and their wider family. We've lost a great star. She was a MP, great campaigning MP with huge compassion, with a big heart, and people are going to be very, very sad at what has happened. Dreadful, dreadful news.
The killing comes just a week ahead of public referendum on Britain leaving the European Union. After the attack, campaign groups on both the sides of the debate decided to halt their operations. Cox was a supporter of Britain remaining in the European Union. German Chancellor Angela Merkel condemned the attack but said she did not link it to the upcoming referendum.
It's right that we're suspending campaigning activity in this referendum, and everyone's thoughts will be with Jo's family and with her constituents at this terrible time.
Also das ist ein tragischer Vorfall, der erstens dringendster Aufklärung bedarf und der furchtbar einfach ist für die Angehörigen, für den Vorgang als solchen, wie jedes Menschenleben furchtbar ist, aber natürlich auch gerade hier
The killing has shaken Britain to the core. Gun attacks in the country are rare and members of parliament do not customarily have security protection. British gun control restrictions are also extremely tight and firearms are considered difficult to obtain. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now a look at some more international news. Here is the World Wrap. Russian President Vladimir Putin met UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon in St. Petersburg on Thursday. The meeting took place on the sidelines of an economic forum to set a focus on Syria. Ban Ki-moon expressed gratitude to Putin for his role in global leadership during the meeting. The UN Secretary-General also called Putin a strong supporter of international peace. US President Barack Obama arrived in Orlando to meet the survivors of the massacre at a gay nightclub on Sunday. The killing of 49 people prompted the US Senate to move towards voting on the gun control. A suicide car bomb hit a Libyan police station west of the besieged Islamic State stronghold of Sirte on Thursday, killing 10 people and wounding 7 others. Brigades are leading to the campaign to recapture Sirte and have engaged in firefights with the Islamic State here. On to some football action. Jamie Vardy and Daniel Sturridge rose from the bench to score as England came back from behind to defeat neighbours Wales on Thursday's All-British Euro 2016 clash. Meanwhile, in the other game of the day, Northern Ireland shocked Ukraine to earn their first win at the European Championship and also remain in contention for a place in the last 16.
When it comes to England's football team, nothing is ever simple. Trailing to a Gareth Bale 30-yard free kick just before interval and contemplating defeat by a Wales team playing in its first major tournament for 58 years, there was an all too familiar feeling about the day.
Bale it is! Oh, thunderous! He's done it again! Gareth Bale, Wales hero!
And yet England, which laboured for so long, somehow managed to do something it had never done before. Win a game at a major tournament after being behind at half-time.
For Sturridge. And someone can tuck it in. Jamie Vardy for England.
Jamie Vardy, a second-half substitute, netted an equaliser 10 minutes after the interval before fellow striker Daniel Sturridge fired home a dramatic winner deep into stoppage time.
Vardy, Ali, Sturridge, Sturridge!
The 2-1 win pushed them to the top of Group B and they need a point against Slovakia on Monday to earn an automatic qualification into the last 16, while Wales must beat Russia to guarantee a top 2 finish.
Dallas.
In another stunner of the day, Northern Ireland beat Ukraine to earn their first win at a European Championship and remain in contention for a place in the last 16.
45 minutes. In by Norwood, McCauley's there, and Northern Ireland are in front.
A flying header from veteran West Bromwich Albion defender Gareth McCauley and Niall McGinn's injury time strike gave Ireland their first European Championships final.
Smart save. Northern Ireland.
The Ukrainians must now beat Poland next Tuesday and hope the Irish lose heavily to Germany to have any chance of progressing.
Germany can stream forward now.
Meanwhile, in a lackluster match later in the day, old rivals Germany and Poland fought a battle of attrition that ended in a goalless draw and edged both countries towards a place in the last 16 of the championship. The stalemate left Germany on top of Group C on goal difference, with both sides on 4 points from 2 matches. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And good news for India. Well, India has qualified for their maiden Champions Trophy final despite losing 4-2 to reigning world champions Australia in their last league outing of the Champions Trophy hockey on Thursday. While India's 2 goals came from penalty corner shooter V.R. Raghunath and striker Mandeep Singh, but it was too late to cause any threat to Australia, who had gained a stranglehold through strikes from Trent Mitton, Aaron Zalilski, Flynn Ogilvie and Tristan White. Australia topped the league standings with 13 points, while India finished in second place with 7 points from 5 matches and managed to enter their maiden Champions Trophy final after Belgium drew 3-3 against Great Britain. Now India will fight for the gold in the final against Australia on Friday, while Germany will take on Great Britain for the bronze medal. Belgium and Korea will square off for the 5th and the 6th place. Well, that's all in this edition of News, but news and updates continue on your channel. Have a great day ahead.